If today you suffer because of fear, you're worried about your children, you're worried about the future, you're worried about what might happen tomorrow, you're scared, you're worried at night. When the lights go out, you're worried. If you have to leave your family and you have to travel somewhere for work, right? You have to go and spend a couple of weeks, you have to spend a couple of months, you have to spend a couple of years. Now you're dead worried. What if, what if, what if? You're always going through this what if in your mind. So where's the time to be happy in life? You don't. You just don't have the time to be happy in life because you're going through fear and sorrow and grief and worry and all these things. So much so that stress is becoming fashionable these days, isn't it? You meet someone on the street, hi, how are you? Stressed. Oh, good, same here. It's almost like that now. It's almost like now, to qualify for a job, you have to have had depression once in your life at least. Otherwise, they'll think like you're not committed to your work. So much so. It's become a pre-qualification for a job application. Every other man is stressed. Every person you see on the road, they're worried. No one's happy. Otherwise, why would two people who bump into each other accidentally then get into a brawl? And honestly that they're not actually taking out on each other a grudge or a grievance that they have with each other. You know that. I step on a stranger's foot and they're going to give you war and peace. They're going to tear you a new page. They're going to take out all the stresses that they have on you. Poor you. Just bump into someone in a supermarket aisle as you go to do your shopping. Just look at how their face changes. That's because they were putting a mask on. As they stepped outside, they put a mask on. Because when you come out in society, you have to wear a mask. Right? But you give them the first opportunity to vent their frustrations. Oh God, they will. Because now they have an excuse. Right? You bothered them, so now they have an excuse to just vent it all out on someone. The poor shopkeepers, they get this every day. The people at the tills, they get this every day. Shortchange someone by mistake. I'm sure you must have been there when it happened. There's a young lady, she's working at the tills. That's how she pays her bills. That's how she keeps her family afloat. But shortchanged. By mistake, not intentional. Have you seen how some people have a go at them? Just because a mistake, these days there's no room for mistake. There's no room for mistake. If you make a mistake, that's the last mistake you will make. We can't be humans anymore, can we? Humans make mistakes, we used to say. But you can't be humans anymore. Because if you do make a mistake, then you will have hell to answer to. And that's not because people have a grudge with you. It's because people have all these frustrations all packed up inside, waiting for a moment's relapse. They're just waiting to get it out. And if you become the unfortunate one, then you're just going to get the brunt of it. And I'm sure you have seen this happen. Think of road rage. All you did was just pull up in someone and you didn't even see them coming. All you did was go and park in the parking space and you didn't know that was reserved. Remember what happened? You opened your door and just by mistake, your door just rubbed against someone else's. Do you remember all the explicits that you heard as a result of that? Today's conversation starts with F, right? They start with F. Just think about, why people's minds are like that. Why people start there. Can you imagine how much vented frustration or how much frustration they have packed up inside? They're boiling inside. All I have is sympathy. They need the dharma. They need the Dhamma. The other day, I was speaking to my mother last week when I have my weekly Dhamma sermon with her. And she was telling me, Swamin Mahansa, do you remember one day we were on the motorway, you were driving, and then some man drove past, and then he honked at you, and then you were annoyed. Do you remember how you responded to him? I was like, Amma, let's not talk about that. I was very embarrassed. But then soon enough I realized, that was not me. So I needn't worry. It was just the chitta that was born at that time. But the truth is, I was actually quite ashamed as to how a chitta, when it's vexed, that man who honked at me, he was probably, maybe that was by mistake. Can that not happen by mistake? See, we never give people the benefit of the doubt, do we? We always assume that they do it in spite. We always think that. We always think that. We always think that people do things to spite us because they want to avenge us. That's because we always feel victimized. Who's the culprit? We ourselves are the culprits. That's all the burning inside. That's all it's festering inside. Right? That's why we always feel like people are just out to get us. But they're not so. Hurt people, what else can they do other than hurt people? So this is why we need the Buddha in our lives. This is why we need the Dhamma. Like I say, I've been through all this, ladies and gentlemen. So I know that there is refuge. You don't have to starve yourselves like this. If you are thirsty today, and you're suffering from the thirst of desire, fear not, for the Dhamma, the water of Dhamma will quench your thirst. Fear not. If today you suffer from the hunger of fear and worry, fear not. Because the Dhamma will sate your hunger. It will. I speak from first-hand experience.